Welcome back to Now TV. I'm going to continue. Like I said, this will be the last segment. This segment that I'm recording now, because I have somewhere to go, it's only going to be a few pages, a few minutes. So without further ado, the next segment on page 24, it's called Kent Holidays. Clark's mother was in the sitting room when he walked in and said, "So is this a good time for us to talk about the things Dad did tell you about his life?" Clark's mother said, "I suppose it is. There's only one way to deal with this, and that's just by telling you what I know." She smiled and patted the couch seat next to her. Clark took a seat. Clark's mother said, "Your father told me of his memories of holidays in the home, how grand the events were, and how staunchy everyone in his family was, and how those guests of theirs were staunchy too." Moving to Jonathan's mind as that young boy, looking through the window watching guests come in, hoping no one could see where he was hiding away from the crowds. He felt this big gaping wound of feeling lost and loneliness. He just did not fit into his family's world no matter what he did. He couldn't put his finger on just one thing that he didn't like, but he just didn't like all these yearly customs and all the money they spent on the holidays, so lavish. He hid in his room as much as possible, except where he was needed to make an appearance a time or two. Halloween was so outrageous, all the crazy costumes, but as a young boy, that was what he would admit to coming downstairs to look at, what everyone coming in was wearing. He also had to admit the chocolate and treats were divine. He would eat so much some years he'd give himself teeth aches and stomach aches too. What else was he to do locked up in that world and at such a young defenseless age? The event would go on until the wee hours of the morning. Last guests would leave around 2 a.m., and all the excitement always kept Jonathan awake. He could never bring himself to fall asleep until the guests were all gone, and all the music and sounds that wafted loudly through the halls of the house were done playing. And then there was Christmas. Jonathan's mother, calling up to her son, rose, saying, "Jonathan, please come downstairs and join the family. It is Christmas Eve, and time to exchange gifts with everyone." Jonathan loved Christmas best. It was the one time of year that he was excited about the prospect of what new things he might like from his family that sat beautifully wrapped under the tree. Jonathan said, "Okay, Mother, I'm on my way." But Jonathan did not so much like hanging with his huge family of aristocrats. He was not much like them at all. In the large dining room area where everyone was sitting around the table, still munching away on Christmas delights, he took his seat. In front of everyone on the table there were gifts for each person to open. This year Jonathan had a fairly large box standing upright, so as to fit on the table with everyone else's gifts and the treats they were all eating. He thought it was a miracle that the large box didn't fall over with the way it was standing. So it would have been like the way you see the screen, square, upright like that, on the thin part. Jonathan's father said, "Glad you could finally join us, my son. It has been unanimously decided that since you are the youngest at the table, everyone agrees, you should open your gift first." Jonathan says, "Yes, father. Thank you, everyone. I'm so grateful for the family I have," he said, not sure under his breath how much he meant that part. He carefully lifted the big box down onto the floor and got comfortable for himself first, and then began unwrapping it. Jonathan said, "Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, however did any of you know? I swear I never peeped a word to anyone." Actually, there was a conversation about train sets that took place between his older brother and himself once earlier, much earlier in the year, but nothing was said that he could have ever thought would have ended in a result like this. He didn't say, "I want a train set for Christmas," so there was no reason for him to think or believe that it would happen. He quickly tore into the rest of the wrapping paper after the initial tear gave away and that he had been given a train set. that he he got a train set. This would be his favorite childhood memory for Christmases in his life, he was certain. Never again did a childhood Christmas for Jonathan. Sorry. Never again did a childhood Christmas for Jonathan compare to this one. It was only when he was a man, a husband, and a father to a young Superman did he enjoy holidays with his immediate family. That is equal or compared to that one Christmas when he was given that kick-ass train set that he had never told anyone that he wanted. Only Clark and Martha themselves could fill his soul and heart and life with a joy equal to that year and day so many Christmases ago. Jonathan, looking at his older brother, said, "You told someone, didn't you? I told you and you told mom or dad or someone. Why, I could just hug you to death for this, because I truly wasn't expecting this." When he was done with the wrapping paper, he just did that. He went around the room and cordially hugged his family members for the best gift ever. After seeing this fine train set, young Master Jonathan didn't care much what else was under the tree. He got the one thing he was wanting all year and didn't expect would happen. He liked to pride himself on being simple and easy to be made happy. But he had to admit he was excited about tomorrow morning, especially if this is how the night before just went. So we're going to end it there, and I'll be back after I come back from my mission to continue the rest. Thank you very much for listening. Subscribe. Tell everyone else to subscribe. Contact me to order material. The Smallville movie at gmail.com. Superwoman exists at mail.com. thewriterwon at gmail.com. Facebook.com/iSuperwoman. Instagram.com. /the Smallville movie /Jennifer _ Cooley #1. Peace out, everyone. Thanks for watching. Come back.